Hi, good morning, guys. I'm sorry you guys can't be here this morning, but we're going to go ahead and have our lesson anyway on complete sentences. So, I've noticed through some of the work you've been turning in and things that have been going on that we're having issues writing incomplete sentences. So, we're going to go over exactly what that means so everybody knows what's going on. So, those of you who are in my reading class, we touched on this a little bit yesterday. But those of you who aren't, we're going to go ahead and talk about it anyway. So, what is a complete sentence? So, a complete sentence should be capitalized. Earlier this year, we talked about what should be capitalized, which is the first word in a sentence in proper nouns. So, if it's a specific person, if it's a specific place, if it's a specific thing. So, the word Walmart should be capitalized because it's the name of a company, it's a specific place. The Katie should be capitalized because Katie is a name. Also, the first word in a sentence should be capitalized to indicate that you're starting a new sentence. So make sure we're keeping that in mind when we're writing. For example, in My Brother Sam is Dead, the town Volplanks Point, Volplanks and Point should be capitalized because they're both part of the name of the town. If it's a name or title, make sure that you have all the words in the name or the title capitalized, unless it's a word like and or of. So, I'm going to have you guys take a moment and take a look at this sentence. The dog went with Katie to Washington Park and played fetch. So, I want you to go ahead once I'm done talking and pause this video. And once you pause the video, I want you to go to Google Classroom where you found this video, and there's a Google Doc where it has sentences labeled with numbers. This will be the first sentence, and I want you to go ahead and go in there and correct the sentence. All of the mistakes in this sentence should have to do with capitalization. So I want you to go ahead and take a look at that. You can pause the video when you're ready. When you are done, unpause. Okay, so now it's time to take a look at punctuation. So where should you use punctuation? So we should make sure that we're using punctuation at the end of every sentence. There's multiple types of punctuation that you can use. The majority of the time, though, we will be using a period, which is what we use to end a statement. Sometimes you might use an exclamation point, which is to show excitement, or a question mark, which is to ask a question. But the majority of the time, we should be using a period to end all sentences. Later, we will go over how to use commas and semicolons and all other types of punctuation, but not today in this video, so just remember to put periods at the end of your sentences. Now we're going to head on to number 2 on the worksheet. The sentence is, the dog went with Katie to Washington Park and played fetch. They enjoyed playing in the park. So, I would like you to, once I'm done talking, pause the video and go correct this on the Google Doc that I have open. This should be number 2. Please pause when you're ready and unpause when you're done. Okay. The third thing we should talk about when it comes to complete sentences is making sure that you're using correct spelling. If you need any help finding out how a word is spelled, there are tons of online dictionaries on the internet that you can use to look it up. Or your computer should have spell check. Make sure when you're writing words that you're using the correct tense of the word. So, I would not say I take my sister to the park. No. Sorry. I might say I take my sister to the park. Or I took her there yesterday. Those would be correct ways to use it, but you would not say, I take my sister to the park yesterday. You would say, I took my sister to the park yesterday. So make sure that we're looking and making sure we're using the correct tense of the words. A lot of times, spell check will help you out if you're doing that, if you're using it on the computer. but we should also be aware of the word choice we're using. Also, spell check is not always reliable, so make sure you double check whatever they say. So I want you to take a look. This sentence is going to be number 3 on the Google Doc. He didn't want to take out the trash. So, what is wrong with the sentence? What is misspelled or has the wrong tense of the word? Once again, the sentence is, he didn't want to take out the trash. So, when you're ready, you can pause this video, and when you're done, you can unpause it. Take a minute and correct this sentence on the Google Doc. A complete sentence includes a complete thought. So what's included in a complete thought? So a complete thought should include a noun and a verb, so your subject and your action, what's going on, and it should be a complete statement. Sometimes when people have been answering questions, they start their sentence with because, and that is not a complete sentence. The reason is you're not having the beginning of the sentence. You're just assuming I've read the question, but you want to be able to restate your question in a way that even if they don't know what the question is, they should be able to read your answer and understand what you're saying. For example, the question might be, why did the father not want Tim to stop at Green's Tavern? If you just say, because he didn't want the Cowboys to see them, that is not a complete thought. Because why? So you might say, the father did not want to stop at Green's Tavern because the Cowboys might see that they were there. So make sure you're not starting sentences with because and that they're a complete statement. So we should know what the entire thing you're trying to say when I read your sentence. So, what is wrong with this statement here? Because he didn't want to take out the trash. There are multiple ways that you can fix this sentence. So I want you to just take a minute and see what you can do with it. Try to fix it in the Google Doc. And then once you're done, you can unpause the video. So pause it now and unpause it once you're finished. As a reminder, each sentence should have punctuation, capitalization, and it should make sense. It should also have words that are spelled correctly. So I'm going to have a few sentences in here, and once I read the sentence, I would like you to pause the video, go correct it in the Google Doc, and then unpause the video. Once we are finished going through all the sentences, we will go through and discuss what was corrected and why. So please make sure that you are following along and that you're pausing the video after each sentence. William went to Walmart to buy watermelons. Please pause the video and correct this sentence on your Google Doc. When you are ready, unpause. What is wrong with this sentence? Because Sam went to fight the lobster backs despite his father's wishes. When you are ready, pause the video and correct it in the Google Doc. When you are done, please unpause the video and we will continue. What is wrong with this sentence? Tim watched the cattle eat the grass on the way to Verplanck's Point. Once you are ready, please pause the video. When you are finished, unpause. Okay, so now it's time to go over the answers. So if you can, put this on one side of your screen and put your complete sentences on the other side of the screen. If not, you can always pause and flip back and forth to see what you did. The first sentence we did had to do with capitalization. So the sentence is, the dog went with Katie to Washington Park and played fetch. If you notice, the words that have been corrected are in black. So we capitalize the because it's at the beginning of the sentence. Then we went ahead and capitalized Katie because it's a name, and Washington and Polk because they're both part of a name. Make sure that when you have a name of something and it has two parts, please capitalize both of them because they're both part of the name. If you want to go back and check your sentence, now would be a good time to pause. If not, I will continue. What is wrong with this sentence? So we've corrected this sentence. The dog went with Katie to Washington Park and played fetch. They enjoyed playing in the park. So we went ahead and put a period after fetch, as the first part of that is one statement. They enjoyed playing in the park is a different statement that we would also put a period at the end of. So we should have a period after fetch, and we should have a period after park. What is wrong with this sentence? The original sentence was, because he didn't want to take out the trash. I've provided two different ways that you could have corrected this sentence. First of all, because he didn't want to take out the trash, he pretended that he already took it to the curb. Or you could cut out the because entirely and just say he didn't want to take out the trash. Remember, there are more than one way to correct this sentence, so your way may be correct even if it's not one of these two. The other sentences should be as I corrected them. We're going to go ahead and go to the next sentence now. If you need a moment, please pause. The next sentence is, William went to Walmart to buy watermelons. So, we capitalized both William and Walmart because they're both proper nouns. Also, William is at the beginning of the sentence, which means it should be capitalized. The third mistake is that watermelons is only spelled with two L's. And the final mistake is that the sentence should end with a period. So, the original sentence was, because Sam went to fight the lobsterbacks despite his father's wishes. You can go ahead and remove the word because from this sentence and just say that Sam went to fight the lobsterbacks despite his father's wishes. And then we'd go ahead and go in there and we would make Sam capitalized because first of all it's a name and second of all it's at the beginning of a sentence. Next we would move on over to lobsterbacks and we would capitalize the L in lobsterbacks because it's the name of a group. And then we would move over to father, which was misspelled. It is FTHER''S. Fathers. And our final mistake was that we did not have a period at the end of this sentence. The next sentence is, Tim watched the cattle eat grass on the way to Four Planks Point. So our first mistake is that Tim is not capitalized, it's a name, and it's at the beginning of the sentence. Our next mistake is that cattle is spelled with two T's. We need to make sure that we're spelling things correctly. Our third mistake is that grass is also spelled incorrectly. We need to add an A in there, so it should be GRASS. Finally, Four Planks Point is part of the same name, so the V and the P should be capitalized, and this sentence already has a period at the end of it. So, that's just a quick overview of capitalization. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Feel free to email me. And if you need to, we can set up a time to video call. So you don't have to submit your complete sentences worksheet. You just have to click turn in. And once you're done, you can end this video. If you have any questions, please contact me. Thank you.